will be more difficult to do it now. That's why I have said that it should have been better to have done it before I soldered the tap, but that's okay. With a little bit of patience we can do it. Just make sure you don't destroy the rest of the windings with your finger as you are trying to remove the enamel. It's difficult to show that in the camera. I have to reposition the camera probably. Don't push it too much. Better do it more times with a little bit of force. Now let's thin it. If you do some, if you feel that your wiring, your tap, your turns have been moved around, you can still reposition them. Yes, that's okay now. So, this is our final transformer. With the tap at the first turn from the input, or 3 turns from the ground. So now it's time to build the second transformer, which is this part here. And then the second transformer is wound with bifilar winding. This means 2 wires wound onto it at the same time. If you notice these dots there, this one and that one, you see that this is has the same phase, which means that the start of this is one winding and this is the other winding. This is one wire and this is the other wire. And this dot here means that the start of this wire, is at the same is also the start from this wire. In other words, that the beginning point here is also the beginning point there. So this point should be the first wire that that puts through the core, that goes into the core, and this winding as well goes into the core from the same side. So we start with 2 pieces of wire put together side by side, and we begin to insert them into the core from this side. I will show you how this is done practically. Now this middle point here is where the 2 windings are connected together. Because the wirings are bifilar, it means that they begin to go through the core from these points, and they end the output through the from the core from their end points, this one and this one. So this point here, the middle point, is actually the end of the first winding connected to the beginning, the start of the second winding. This is the beginning of the first wiring, this is the beginning of the second wiring, this is the end of the first wiring, and this is the end of the second wiring. So the end of the first wiring is connected to the beginning of the second wiring. I'll show you how this can be done practically. Back in the bench, and we have our core and our wire. We have to wind two bifilar turns. So I'm going to cut two small pieces of the wire. I will cut them to be almost equal in size. So here are the two turns. Now we can wind these turns, we can wire these turns as they are, or we can twist them together. By twisting we mean, I'll show it to you with two more pieces. With this twisting we mean that we put the wires side by side and then we twist them. You see? And we form a single wire by the twisted wires. When you twist the wires, you ensure a better balance, but you also increase the parasitic capacitance of the winding. So for this project, I'm not going to wind the windings together, to twist them together. So I will put them side by side. And make a bifilar winding without twisting them. So I'm holding the two windings together, taking the core. Let me readjust the camera. Taking the core, and I pass it through the core, both windings. This is one turn, and carefully, like before, I'm gonna wind the second turn now with both windings in hand and keep them as close together as possible. Passing them inside the core.